Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the Artist Coaching Podcast. How are you doing?
With Joey Suki, Jay Hardway,
Hardway.
and bass checkers Ralph.
Yeah, he's I don't
But
know.
he's not here yet.
No, Ralph will be joining later as always. And that's fine. We don't care.
That's fine. We just try to be on time, like 10 minutes
Yeah.
before, to get more professional. But I guess
Nope.
you just gotta start and
Oh, there he
hope
is.
for the best.
There he is.
Yes.
Hey, Ralph. Oh.
Oh, walks out of the screen.
The guy. Okay. Anyway.
Ah,
How I see Ren Trey in the chat. I see Joyce is here. What's up? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Wednesday. It's almost pastry day. That's what that means.
Thursday pastry day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're already online.
You're always too late, Ralph. 2 o'clock is 2 o'clock. And yes, your watch tells you a
You need to
different
be
time.
before 2 o'clock to let us be more professional.
Hey, everybody, and
Hey,
welcome to another episode of Artist Coaching Podcast. We're
You're,
starting right now. Next to
is-
me, I have Joey Suki and Jay Hardway, and they're notorious complainers. But yeah, hey, let's make the most of it.
Hey, is it me or does your mic sound like you're talking to like a filter or something?
No, I think it sounds good.
Okay.
Hello.
Then it's
No, it
me.
sounds good.
Okay, then it's me.
It's your new plop cap, man, that I want.
Yeah, I got a present for you guys.
Yay!
Yay! Plop caps.
Pull-up caps. I actually forgot it yesterday. Now that I think about it, because I saw Ralph yesterday. But
Yeah.
For people listening, Joey has a pop. I guess you call it pop filter on his microphone.
yeah, pop filter,
and it's the artist coaching logo on it, and I want one.
custom
So
made. Yep.
yeah,
I
nice.
must say, they did a great job because it's a very thin line, as you can see, and printing on foam is not that easy. So they did a great job, I must say.
Wow.
I will.
Real artists.
I will gift you the gift once we see each other. And that's probably next week because on the schedule it says that we're going to do a real life episode next week.
So I'm gonna see you guys in real life.
In real life again. Yeah.
Yay.
And we're going to try to do it in the new podcast studio as well at my old office. So need some work. We'll see how that goes. The stream is banging, guys. What's up? Israel Carter, Lion Harris, Seplametra, Bit3, Melodramatic. Damn. It's
Nice.
It's becoming a thing. And I must say that the community has been on fire as well this week. Like more and more people starting to send in tracks, people giving each other feedback, asking questions to each other. It's nice.
That's amazing. Imagine that we might be the next Laidback Luke forum.
That would be sick.
We are.
Talking about Laidback Luke, look what a friend just gave to me.
Ugly shoes.
He ordered a vinyl online from Laidback Luke with a Joey Suki and Abster remix of Need Your Loving.
Sick.
That's
So
pretty sick, man.
That's awesome.
He found it online and he bought it for me. And he also found like some old merch of mine. You know those wristbands?
Hey, wrist slap bands.
Joey Suki wristbands.
The 90s called. They want the wrist slap
I
bands.
knew you were techie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know these things worked. As in, I always threw this in the crowd, and people started wearing it. And then when they put up their fist, all those wrists were up in the
I
air.
used to have different like J Hardway bands, but then people thought when I was giving them out that it were backstage passes, so it was a bit confusing.
All those girls lining
So I
up
stopped
like,
doing that.
yay!
They were like, finally!
Finally! Too bad.
And then no access.
Do
No areas.
yeah, exactly. Like, do you guys is merch still a thing though? Like let's talk about that. Is merch still a thing?
Depends on who you ask.
But
I
is it
think
like for sale or something you just give away? Because that's a different type, I would say.
You
I
said it,
think there's
man.
there's two types of merch. There's like merch that has your basic logos and stuff, and
Plop
like
caps.
hey, tour artworks or tour schedules, which also like really big bands do, for example. Or there's like, hey, I designed this cool piece together with some artist or my logo in a special design. That's the second kind of merch, I guess. It's like limited editions. Yellow Claw does a lot of this, or used to. I don't know if they
Yeezy.
still do that.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
those touring schedules also was like a lifestyle, right? Like if you have the logo and then you were part of that tour, as in if when you bought that shirt. So it's
yeah,
also a lifestyle thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Uh,
I guess in EDM, it's merch was never a big thing like for me, but that's because I had more maybe general EDM fans than actual J Hardway fans, if that's so. They were a fan of me, but also of the whole of EDM.
mhm.
And I know some hardstyle artists that they once told me about their merch revenue, and it was crazy. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say how much, but
Hardstyle's
Say how
um,
much?
crazy.
oh, by the way, I can. It was like 100 grand a year. I'm not naming the DJs, so but a
I
Dude,
think I
do
know.
hardstyle
it.
duo,
I think I
and that
know.
Hey,
was just on merch.
if you
100 grand.
say A, you must say B.
I'm not
No.
gonna name the DJs, but 100 grand a year on merch. That's a lot.
Yeah, but
That's
if you look at,
crazy.
I think it's DEFCON. I'm not sure, but if you look at hardstyle festivals, they still have like a big merch area where you can buy T-shirts, caps, like all those kind of things. And
Yep.
I once have been told, but this has been probably 6, 7, 8 years ago, that one of those festivals sold 1 million in merch on a festival day.
Sick.
Sick, right? And
None too shabby.
if you look at the rest, like hardstyle itself, to me is a very interesting genre because it has a very strong fan base, and it still does albums. For example, it still releases CDs. Artists still do vinyl. It's like a very powerful niche, and especially the audience there is once you have fans, they're fans for life, and that's a big difference in comparison to EDM, I would say.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agree.
But it's
Agree.
interesting to think about merch, as in at what point in your career do you feel like you need to start with merch? It's also hard because it's costly as well, right? If you want stock.
Yeah, you can outsource that. I used to have that outsourced, and then they just get a part of the revenue,
Hmm.
and you pay them a starting uh, amount for the design or the design of the website or something like that. But I think it's really hard to sell merch if you're not really close to your fans, or how do you say, like, don't have like a really dedicated fan base.
Hmm.
um yeah, so that's it's difficult selling merch.
Cool. What else has been going on in your week this week? Something noticeable?
Getting rid of a jet lag
Oh yeah, that's a
with
powerful.
kids. It's always fun because they don't you can't really explain to them, yeah, you're not tired now, but you're still gonna lay in bed.
It's still 2 o'clock in the morning, so
Yeah. I've been doing that. I've started a new routine where I carry a notebook around, and I feel
old
like
school.
already it's made me way more productive. I just write down my tasks or anything I think of, quotes that I think of, or something that I want to remind myself of, and it's for some reason it gets rid of a lot of clutter in my head. So even though I still have some tasks that I postpone, at least I wrote them down, so it's like out of my mind for that moment, so I can just
And
focus
done.
on the.
You can forget about it. Yeah.
I wrote it down. I can forget about it.
I
See
need
it
to
in the
do
morning.
administration. I need to do administration. And done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is out of your head. You can focus on something else once you've like. I'll remind
Yeah.
myself later.
This is a good topic
Kind of
though,
thing.
because to-do lists are very helpful because, as you mentioned, like it's literally out of your head, so that cleans up your head. It leaves extra room, like headspace to think about other problems in your life. But there is a downside to to-do lists, as in it's also a very nice excuse to kind of keep pushing away the things you actually need to do.
Yep.
So the whole essence of having a to-do list is actually doing it. And if you like only keep adding things to it and actually do not like do anything, then it
Yeah.
becomes a stress factor in your life, because you constantly are being aware of the fact all the things you still need to do. So that kind of becomes a stress element in your life.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's also, but I think it's a bit of an experiment. But I write down in the morning what I want to get done that day,
Mm-hmm.
and things come up. So that's nice because you think of something and you write it down, but you're like, it's not for today because for today I have my things I want to do, and then you also eliminate stuff that you're like at the end of the day you're like, okay, am I still gonna do that? Then eliminate it if you're not gonna do it. But it helps you just yeah,
It
it
makes
sounds
no
dumb, but it's
sense,
just
but
it's
okay.
not like, but it's not like a like set to-do list. It's
But
I
isn't
can
it
just
like a
write.
band-aid? I mean, there's like this underlying reason that you're apparently not intrinsically motivated enough to do the shit you need to do.
No, I do the shit I need to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here. Because I got up in the morning, I showered,
Oh, you're
um,
really now the Maslow pyramid. We're like down the bottom. Okay.
no, but it's not a set to-do list. It's just like a way of even keeping track of thoughts, just like writing stuff. It just sometimes helps also because in those moments where I now write stuff down, I won't take my phone, or when I'm waiting and I'm because my phone can be a distraction if I need to load a project, and I pick up my phone when it's loading,
True.
and then you're like 10 minutes further or 5 minutes even, and you're like, oh wait, and 5 minutes times 10 is 50 minutes.
It's almost an hour.
It's almost an hour ruined
Hey, and
a day. So
which book or podcast made you to do this? Because this is not something that pops up in your
I
mind.
think he watched the Who is the Mole, and
I've
there they all have
over the
this mole
years,
booklet.
yeah, I did see that because I bought a new notebook as well, and I saw that at the at the bookstore.
Hmm.
No, I over the years, there's always like reels that come by, or in books they say keep a journal, keep a to-do list, or like something. And I was like, you know what? In the morning, I just want to wake up and have something to do right away. Um, just like, because otherwise you're like, should I have breakfast? Are my kids awake yet? Am I gonna look on my phone? And now it's like, hey, I'm gonna just write stuff down.
Do you
Uh,
know this, Jay?
well, I don't know what it is because I'm only listening to this podcast.
The
So
High
I
Performance Planner. I'm putting up a book again, as always. The High Performance Planner, but you have a lot of planners. This might work for you as well, because it also is built for like writing something down in the morning. By the end of the day, you check if you actually did those things. There's some other questions in between, like it's for self-reflection
And
and
are there
for
penalties if you didn't complete your tasks?
you
Then
could.
you have to do like 10 push-ups,
and
Yeah,
which
push-ups.
is
because
easy.
essentially it's
That's a
about
good one.
building habits. So you also want to have like things to celebrate your wins, and also like if you don't make it, you also want to have some sort of punishment. Like
Yeah.
it could be as little like not taking
But
candy, for
still,
example.
it should also be a thing that, okay, like you're growing older. If you haven't learned by now, then you need to get the lessons from the past as well, so you don't fall into repetition. I mean, what if the booklet is gone, or
You mean the discipline to just do the work?
it's like Nike says, just do
Just
it.
do it. Yeah. No, you're right. As in,
No,
um,
it sounds like I'm just postponing everything that I do by writing it down in this book.
well, I must
But
say
Well,
the thing
that's
I
what
see
you literally said.
the thing I see with coaching as
no,
well is people who tend to use a lot of to-do lists are most likely to kind of postpone a lot of things because they feel they're very productive, but in the end they're really not.
I also know
Uh,
people that the to-do lists become the work. Like I'm
yep,
planning the work. What?
exactly.
Oh man, I've
Or
seen so
people,
many apps come by that should have made the work easier, and then people were, yeah, like filling in the apps, but
you
that
know,
doesn't matter,
what lists are great for? Groceries.
dude.
If I'm in the kitchen and I just take the last piece of milk, I just take my phone, take Siri and say, add milk to my grocery list. And it's out of my head. I don't even have to think about it anymore. That's when it's super helpful. But with tasks, personally I'm not that much of a fan of lists as well, but there is
Hey,
a
but
whole
if it
market.
helps, it
I
helps.
think
Exactly,
I
yeah.
think if you do what you have to do, I don't need a to do list, but I just like to write. I just like to also write thoughts. It's like a journal at times as
Yeah.
well. Uh, Especially in the morning, sometimes it's good to just write like whatever you're thinking at that moment, whatever it is.
I need to pee.
Um, I need a pee. You can write that down. If you write without shame, sometimes you like without any shame about your thoughts and just literally what you think, it can really help. Just also like see how you feel, because sometimes you're like very frustrated about something, and it comes out when you're like writing or
Oh, people
so.
get to
Yeah.
know what I'm frustrated about. No
No, you
need to
shouldn't
write that
share it.
down.
You shouldn't
They
share
will
it with
know.
anyone. Yeah,
I,
but
I, I think $1 billion business idea. I'm just writing it down.
oh,
Yeah.
don't say it.
No, I
It's
just
already
popped up and I
invented,
was.
the punching bag.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm sending it to a friend of mine. I was like, oh shit, that's actually a good idea.
Oh
Um,
man, now I'm curious.
Now
yeah,
we're
I can
all
share it.
curious.
Like, why not build an app where it's like a diary? Because Apple also has like a diary app these days. They added it a few months ago. Like just a diary where you can, like every day you just fill in the amount of words that you want. Like it could be just one sentence or a whole story, whatever you want. But it's the idea of a diary where you kind of, yeah, every day you reflect on what you've done or how your day has been, and you get like a push notification every day to do it. So you do that for as long as you want, and it's also kind of connected to Chat GPT on the background. So you can also start asking self-reflection questions, like, "Hey, looking back on my past month, where do you feel like my weak points have been, or where in which points are like which patterns do you see that I'm not maybe aware of myself?"
And then have ChatGPT fill them out as well. Amazing.
Dude, I use ChatGPT so much for being aware of my own flaws. It's insane how great that works.
I
It's
am
really insane.
already really aware of my own flaws, but that actually sounds interesting because it's better to get a third party look at you.
It's even the things you might not be aware of yourself. It's the
Mm.
thing you just write down what you've been doing all day and what you've been thinking and what you've been feeling and experiencing, and every month or week you just get a question from the app, which is built by AI and says, "Hey, have you actually spent time on friends and family? Because I think that's important to you." Like, oh shit, yeah, you are. Like I haven't seen my friends and family in 2 weeks. It's like a personal
And I feel
assistant.
like it's like a personal assistant that also you can train to keep yourself from work. Like, dude,
No, it
I
actually
think your
helps you.
a
Be-
holiday might be a good idea for you
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's actually
because your holiday was really
Eventually,
stressful.
like companies like Booking.com will pay to
yeah,
have like connection to ChatGPT, and they'll push notification like everybody. You need to book at that resort.
Ugh, I hate
yeah,
Booking.com. I don't know why, but it's just, man, only the site on itself, it's like screaming,
chaos.
buy this, buy that,
Yeah,
and like, ugh.
only two
Last
places
rooms, last
available.
Yeah,
rooms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
only one
yeah,
available. Yeah, fuck off.
yeah,
Ugh.
it's
yeah.
crazy.
If you
Hey,
then book two, you can actually sue them like, but you said there was only one available.
yeah, but you can
But
never
they'll go
prove
like,
it.
well, we have fine print.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
that
one.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go.
No, no.
I'm just fucking
Tell.
with you.
Oh,
I saw a funny article.
okay.
Joey sent this one. It's about up and coming pop artists are
Hmm.
not getting paid enough for performances.
Yeah. Maybe you should
And
explain because it was Dutch.
it was Dutch, and that's what the article states. Upcoming artists that are new don't get paid enough. I don't know what's enough for their performances. So they basically pay for free or for only the parking cost for their car, and then they're complaining that they can't make ends meet. And I just thought that whole article was funny, because I'm like, as an artist, you don't have the yeah, how do you say, you don't have
Privilege.
the the privilege. You don't have the right to an income just because you chose to be an artist. It's actually like the opposite. You don't have any right to an income you don't get yourself. So if you get people to buy your tickets to your shows or to buy your merch, then you earn it. But if you don't do that, you shouldn't be like, I'm not making enough money. It's really weird to me
Yeah.
how some artists think like that, and then the national Dutch media actually backing that up. Like, yeah, they don't get paid enough. I think it's such a weird, weird statement.
Yeah.
So I thought it was also funny because, yeah,
Well, it's an interesting topic, as in I think you should always kind of charge something, as in nothing is for free, and sure you can do a few free gigs in the beginning, and see that as an investment, but I don't. Yeah, you should always charge something at some point. You should see your value, as in it's always
yeah. But
worth
it was about
something.
artists. It was about artists and artist organizations, whatever that
Mhm.
those do, complaining that the 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 fee is too low for beginning artists. But it's basically, if no one buys tickets to come see
Yeah,
you,
then why
how
would
are
you
you gonna
pay?
make money? Like,
Yeah, why would you pay, right? Like, that's the
yeah,
whole thing. Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
I do agree with Jobke. There's not like, okay, I'm an artist and that everything I do gives me the right that I also can sustain myself. No, that's just pure economics. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's not a like a right one gets as being an artist. No, you could just work for your
Yeah,
money and you'll be an artist because you love to do it. And if that's good enough and marketable enough to make ends meet, then you
yeah.
can be an artist like totally.
How long did it
Or
take
else,
you
yeah,
to kind of make a living from music? Because for me, I recall that it's been like 5 years before I kind of got a salary out of
yeah,
music.
5 to 6 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that for me as
Then
well.
I could buy my own home.
Oh no, for
Oh,
me,
that's
yeah, like
yeah,
renting
for me
my.
longer.
For me,
For me, like 10 years before I really really made money from like the moment I started making music.
yeah,
Let's say.
Oh man, then way longer. No, I'm actually talking about doing the first gig up until that's enough to really make ends meet.
yeah.
Because
For
I
me,
had to
that was
stay at
5 years.
Yeah,
home.
that
Uh,
was 5 6 years still.
Yeah, for me as well.
Let's say.
I think that's on average, I would say.
Yeah. Let's say I started making music when I was 15,
Mhm.
14, 15, and I started having gigs when I was 18 or 19 or something. So
Interesting
and
thing.
gigs meaning on weddings and in bars and
but then
Uh,
5 years later, you were able to,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. From the
in,
weddings to the
to the
main stage.
beddings.
interesting comment in
That's
the
your
chat
book
right
title right
now.
there.
No, I have a
From
better one.
weddings to main stages.
Subtraction says, but Tomorrowland for free, as in we did a post a couple of months ago.
Uh,
Do you remember? And I think that's interesting. As in, yes, you should play Tomorrowland for free, because that's the whole thing. As in, it's an
subtraction
investment.
also learn how to listen.
Yeah, but I think
um,
he
Shots
means it
fired.
well. I think he means it well, but it's
yeah,
more like,
I know, but like never said you should or anyone plays Tomorrowland for free. Or
But
actually, just
Joey
Joey said
said
it
it.
just now.
yeah, I
No,
think it's,
he said it. No,
yeah. I always
but
said it. Like, I
yeah.
think it's a
To be
smart
honest,
move.
Tomorrowland pays reasonable fees. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yep.
True.
No, but it's Joey said I think then he would play Tomorrowland for free.
Yeah. I
Um,
didn't, by the way. I got paid. Yeah, but
and
I
he
would
got
play for
paid, but he
free.
would do it for free.
Yeah.
And I would not advise anyone to play for free. What we said in that post is more like, hey, for some festivals or some opportunities, it's okay to take less than you would usually take. And I think that is also just pure economics, marketing, whatever. So that, yeah, but for free, don't, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. The Joker.
No. It's real simple. It comes down to this. If you do a gig, let's say the promoter has like all these lighting, fireworks, and I don't know what cool visuals, then you're bound to say, okay, give me 10K for the gig. and let's say there's another promoter, same capacity of people, but they don't do the fireworks, they don't have a big LED screen whatsoever, then you're going to be like, okay, marketing wise, this is not going to look cool on my socials. I cannot use this for promotion. I want 15K. That's basically how it works. Really simplistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Joey's gone.
No.
Okay,
I
we're
was just
gonna.
I was waiting for your final words, but there we go.
That was it, man.
Perfect.
You weren't listening at all.
I was listening, but I was also looking at the enormous list of
Ah,
things we should go through. So I think we should just
let's
go
go.
to a clip of the week.
Which one is it?
Yeah, wait. Let me share my screen. It's gonna be. I want to hear Ralph's opinion on this.
Easy. Most people think I got 100 gigs this year as a DJ. I got to get 200 next year to double my business. That's not the way to think. All you're doing is more of what you're already doing versus taking those 100 gigs, really looking at them and asking yourself, out of those 100 gigs, what 20% of those gigs paid me the most, were the most enjoyable, really moved the needle. Now delete the other 80. Don't do gigs like those anymore and go find 80 more gigs that are just like those first 20. And that's how you scale to 10x. You got to start.
Did you guys hear it?
That's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
Well,
Please
he
explain.
starts off by saying, I'm doing 100, let's scale up to 200. That's also not how it works. When you're doing 100, probably your price will go up. It's also pretty basic economics, price elasticity whatsoever. And you're gonna bump up your fee. For the rest, the markets aren't that big. It's not that you can just delete 80% of your bookings and say, let's get 80 more like the 20 of others. Markets are just not big enough. Plus, it's not how it works. How it usually works is depends on what kind of artist and how big you are. I mean, for Martin Garrix, he might be able to do this, although he also doesn't do 100 gigs a year. But for normal artists, like the median, it works like this. You get an application as somebody wants you to play their festival or club. Then, okay, the agent goes to work with that and looks around that location. Let's say you're playing Southeast Asia, Thailand. Then they're going to see, is there something more to do in Thailand? Maybe Vietnam, Indonesia, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, that area. And they're just going to like actively be on the search if there's venues that are also willing to have you play there. That's how it works. And not that like, okay, these ones move me more and these were the most enjoyable. Weird statement.
I think that only goes when you're a certain level of artist. I think there's a very small percentage of successful musicians, artists, that can choose their gigs. Basically, there's a lot of us like me. I cannot really. I mean, of course, I can say no to a gig, but it's not smart. It's not smart to say no to
But
to a lot of
besides,
gigs.
it's the skill he talks about. Look at the top 100 clubs and top 100 festivals. Then filter out the ones that are not for you because you're not playing the genre day program. The market, the world is in that respect, it isn't that big. So what he says, like filter out 80 and then get back in another 80, that's just also not feasible.
I do
But yeah.
think he's exaggerating in the clip, and I think what he means by it, and it's a pretty decent point. It's kind of like there's some gigs you do to fill in gaps or to have just a little extra pocket money or whatever. Sometimes it can be good to say no to those to focus on the other ones or to focus on your brand,
That's what James
show
Hype is
or
doing.
your music.
That's what James Hype is doing right now.
And I think that's what he means, but it's highly exaggerated.
No, because he still wants to do. He's talking about a 10x.
Yeah.
He's all about the money.
He's about growing it, and James Hype's about slowing down.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
it was a weird statement. But whatever. Everybody can have their opinions. But
yes.
it just
Definitely.
doesn't work like that. Also, I think you should be grateful for everybody who wants you to play their festival or club, and making the most out of it also depends on you as an artist. I do get when like travel schedules or some things at certain levels you don't want to do, and you can always say no, and then it shouldn't be money shouldn't be an actor in this one.
True. Then, for everyone who's in the live chat right now, you might want to hang in until the end because we're going to give away something with Jay today. So, if you're curious to hear what that is, make sure to stay until the end.
My notebook, hey,
Like personal
Mm.
diary.
with all my secrets.
Yeah. But for now, let's talk about AirPods and hearing protection. As in, we saw a clip coming by last week from, I think it was the kind of music guys who were playing with AirPods, right?
Yeah, Rampa of Kind of Music has, when he plays earpods in, I've seen other people in clubs with AirPods, whatever. And I just thought, like, hey, they have noise canceling, yes, but, and I just don't know this technically. And I've tried to look on Reddit. People say something, but does that noise canceling actually cancel the noise, or is it an illusion? And is it actually not really protecting your ears to wear those AirPods?
Yeah.
That's what I was just wondering. And I, from what I understand from Reddit, so that's by no means experts. Those people say the noise actually cancels out, so it will reduce. But because in an environment like that, there's so many sounds that are very unpredictable. Because of that, that's what noise canceling does. It also predicts a lot of sound. That it can't really do that very well. So you'll end up, I think, like Ralph said, only the earpods themselves, which close off your ear, but that's like maybe 2 or 3 decibels less. So I would
I
advise.
haven't said that yet. That's what we said before the podcast. I wanted to say that now
Exactly, yeah, but
also.
that's fine. We discussed some things about
Yeah.
the podcast beforehand.
My
But I
statement
would
was
advise.
anything you put in your ears eliminates noise getting into it, but is it enough or not? Yeah.
I'm actually, let's just state the Apple website. AirPods 2 Pro 2 now provide active hearing protection across listening modes to help prevent exposure to loud environmental noise. And then it says, where
Yeah,
is
I
it?
think a
When you,
nightclub doesn't
when you
doesn't like.
enjoy, yeah, well, they literally used in their marketing with Honey Dijon with the DJ. When you're enjoying a live concert, the improved high dynamic range multiband compressor helps to protect your hearing while keeping the music sounding natural and vibrant. It's literally in their marketing. You see Honey
Mhm.
Dijon
Okay.
DJing.
Yeah, it depends on how
So
many dBs and what
it
kind
says
of
it here as well.
environment.
How many dBs?
Yeah.
It's like
I cannot. I don't think it does like minus 25 or minus 15 dB. But I don't know. They should state like, okay,
Yeah,
this is the gain or actually
I would just
the
advise
reduction.
anyone to wear proper hearing protection. That especially when you go to nightclubs that have like at least 20 dB of
But
reduction.
uses
Um,
Rampa it as his own monitor, or he uses
I don't
them
know,
to
but
mix?
it's just like on a many clips he shows up wearing them, so it's just kind of speculation that he uses them as hearing protection. And
Okay,
also
yeah, I
because
think
I've
it's a
seen
bad idea
people.
if you use it
Yeah,
for that.
yeah,
yeah, same.
But hey, it will probably filter out some. But noise
yeah.
canceling, isn't that just? I actually don't know how noise
Yeah, that's
cancellation works.
They
Does
kind
it
of
it
that's what
stand.
does
I
it
that's what
does
I
it
don't know.
mimic the outside noise and then by
Yeah,
means of uh, uh, eliminating each other out generate the same frequencies?
anti-phasing, I believe. I think
Yeah,
that's the
Yeah,
same
but isn't
thing.
that like always like the noise, like the road noise or just the noise you get from live,
Yeah,
just the
like
atmospheric
everyday
noise?
surrounding noise. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
it's
sure, but
mostly a very predictable noises. So if you're in a place where there's a constant loud buzz, it would
Oh
work very
yeah.
well. But music does change the whole time. So
I
but
challenge
if
accepted,
Apple says,
AirPod. Try to
yeah,
filter out me. You're not gonna
Well, I
succeed.
think if Apple claims that, I would like to see the proof, or at least like how much, like Ralph said, how much dB does it actually
If you go to the
produce?
website, in the small little letters on the bottom of the websites, they explain all the dB stuff, and like I don't want to go to it now, but it's stated there, so you want to
Okay.
check it out. It's in the bottom of the website.
Yeah.
Let's
But everybody wear good ear protection
wear
And
protection.
condoms.
and protection in general. But your ears, especially if you're listening and you're a producer,
Yeah.
yeah, man, it can be one night. And I know some guys who have like tinnitus, or a beep in their ear, and it's really torture for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So
True.
yeah.
Cool.
Community questions.
Let's go. Community questions. Let's take up the list.
So
There's a whole list.
Community
Wow.
questions.
Here we go. Ferry GNL from the Discord. Hi guys, I love the podcast and your honest opinions. Thank you very much. My question is, do you work from a home studio?
Yeah, basically, but it's not at home.
So
no.
no.
Yeah. No, but it's not like it's a professional thing. It's just I
Wow, it's
bought
pretty
all these.
professional.
No, we all did it ourselves, or actually, I
Ralph,
did
you're
myself.
talking
No,
yourself
for
down
a
here.
regular
It's very
person, this is a
professional.
professional studio.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it has some stuff in it, but well, what's a professional studio?
It's not a
You can ask
bedroom.
yourself.
There's no bed in there. You don't sleep there.
It's an
not.
office
Man,
place
I
where
sleep here all
you
the time, man. I don't
where
do
you
shit.
where it's not inside your house, and you
Yeah.
rent it separately from your house, or buy it separately
Like
wherever.
a home studio is where at least I began, as in I literally began making music in my old bedroom where I grew up as a little kid.
Oh, me
That's
too,
a
me
home
too.
studio. And right now you have like a work life place, so you go to work in the mornings, and you don't
Yeah,
really
but you
have.
can get this as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
yeah,
But most
it,
people
it's
probably won't.
no, but it's not a factory, you know. I know people who put a lot of money in their studio and they make shitty music. And being in a bedroom or whatever, man, just gives you just enough odds to make good music as well.
I
You got
always
to
have.
get to know your room. That's most important.
I always think about like Hardwell, like where he began, also in his bedroom. Like I have, there's the footage of it as well, and like the tracks that he made in there sound ridiculously great. It's just a bedroom, you know. It's definitely
Martin
not the perfect
Garrix,
studio. Martin Garrix, same
same
Mhm.
thing.
story.
So as you said, like it's not necessarily the gear or the room that you have, but it's also about how you work with it.
Yeah, and
Um,
also it needs to be an environment where you're chill, you know?
yeah.
That's important.
But I think
Yeah.
what does bring a difference with not having your studio at home is that you kind of can leave things behind you. That
Yeah,
makes it
but
a bit
still,
easier.
man, I worked from home for the first 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah, I also have this studio since 2018, and so like from 20, well, whatever, till 2018, I worked from home. So and my music got worse after that. So I guess should go back to working from home.
go back to the source.
Uh, Now that I say that, I saw a question from last week, I think, which we've missed, which I thought was interesting. It's a question for Jay by Fixie Hartman 12.
Ah,
He checked my social media stats, and it seems that my numbers have dropped massively on Instagram from 450K followers to 420 in 4 years, and it still drops every month. And on Spotify, that I keep losing followers. And the question is, how does this make me feel? And do I take the numbers personal? Because they're so important to a lot of people in this industry. And he said, "Hope you get back, man. Sad to see." How does this make me feel? It doesn't make me feel much, to be honest. I think, of course, I would like to see an increase in followers, but it really to me is just a number, and I don't take it personally at all. So there's, yeah, I would love to see a growth, but I also realize I haven't had a lot of releases, so I'm not surprised by it. And yeah, I disconnected from the numbers a long time ago. So please don't feel sad for me.
You know what's actually
Um,
interesting you're saying right now? I haven't had a lot of releases. Are those still
mhm.
the determinants, still the things you work towards? Because to be honest,
Mm,
in my book, hey, if they listen to the 30-second clip on TikTok 10 million times, that's just as good as listening it
yeah, but I'm
10
just trying
million
to say I
times
haven't.
on Spotify.
It's another way of saying I haven't put much out there, and I know that also content wise, and it's also a choice I made to focus on other stuff in life and in my career as well. Also, the heavy decrease in followers, or there's also what people have to realize is there's a lot of DJs who bought bots who would then follow them. So fake followers. This
Mhm.
happened on Facebook and this happened on Instagram and even on Spotify. What happens is if you're a big DJ, let's say, and I know someone who bought fake followers. It wasn't me, but they buy fake followers. So what happens? Bots are creating new accounts. Those accounts are not only going to follow the DJ that bought the fake followers, they're also going to follow similar DJs. So that's why a lot of DJs will have fake followers and will have some decrease in followers. And of course, if you're still growing, you won't really notice the decrease. But because I'm not really growing, then you see those bots go out of my account. So that's why it's decreasing quite heavily.
I think this is
Um,
also connected to the bigger trend you see, as in it's turning to the focus is shifting towards quantity over quality, as in it's better to have less followers who are actually very interested in what you do and are engaging on your content and are interested in your music and your shows, over having insane amount of numbers and not anyone really caring about what you do. um, and and that is a trend that has started a couple of years ago and is kind of getting off the ground now.
yep.
We've been talking about those 1,000 true followers, like that
Yeah,
concept,
but
right?
that's not what's actually happening. It's just simple demographics. I mean, it's happening on
Mm.
Insta mainly, where the followers drop. Basically, the ones that are busy for over 10 years, the ones that started to follow us 10 years ago, they
They're
lose
old.
interest.
Yeah, they're
They get
old.
They're getting old.
older.
They
I
got
mean,
kids.
that's like simple
Yeah,
human demographics. The older die, in between
yeah,
brackets, and the young ones are interested not per se in you. So when you can get to growth, that means you're mostly onboarding young people as being someone who's interested in your music or whatsoever you
yeah.
put online. Yeah, so I think also, I mean, Jobk is right. Don't be focused on the numbers; they're not telling the whole story. On the other hand, there is a correlation in between uh, success as being people listening to your music, uh, being active, and getting the followers. Your content is your music. You could just narrow it down like, okay, I put out a track every 2 weeks and put a little snippet online. I think it's important to look at that. It's how people nowadays consume music, entertainment, and whatsoever. I was talking to a girl outside the studio here. They're doing a session here, and she's 23 and she doesn't watch movies because she doesn't have the attention span. But she listens to music a lot and on
Hmm.
TikTok, Instagram, and all that shit. Don't be blind to how the world is right now.
True, it shifted. What also,
Yeah,
what you should also consider is the fact that algorithms changed drastically. As in, it used to be a follow-based algorithm. So if you
Yep.
decided to follow Jay, you
But that
actually
that doesn't matter because that's what
no,
Jay
it's
says.
true.
Don't be focused on the numbers, but just
No, but
do you and do
it's
your shit. And
no, that's
yeah,
true. But
yeah.
what I mean is that
yeah.
the people who have decided in the past years to follow Jay, so the 450K or whatever it was, they don't necessarily have to see Jay's content anymore because the algorithm decided that that's not actually what they're interested in. So
Oh, that's totally true. Yeah.
you might have a shitload of followers, but if your content is not built for
Instagram,
them,
Mm.
social media is like a bad DJ who only plays the hits because that's what you want to hear.
Yeah, but
Social
still,
media would not usually put
my
stuff in front of
Instagram is
you that you
also the
don't.
shit that I like that I click on. I mean, it sees what I click on. It's mainly
Yes, but
servers. Tesla
I
is
think
again
like a
back.
I think like a good DJ, sometimes you should like put a little probe out, like, hey, maybe they will like this, and I
To
think they
surprise
will
them.
like it, and I
Yeah, yeah,
think
no,
that's
if you have good stuff, people will notice it. That's
yeah,
what we say
yeah,
here as well to everybody. Yeah,
and I think to get back to the question, how does it make me feel? Well, not much, but because I think the amount of followers, for example, is a consequence of what you do. So it's like it's not per se like the goal. So it's not. I want to focus on what I
yeah,
do and
Yeah.
not on
yeah.
how
Yeah,
much
well,
followers it gets me, because
we do
that's weird.
try to read the room sometimes because I mean you can make music but what is nice music? What's fun music? That's
Do
what
you mean
for us
with the
is
room?
important.
With the room,
Yeah,
you mean
well,
the actual room
then
or the
we
book?
put out what we make and we put it first on social media. And if we post it
Mm,
5 times and nobody reacts on it, for us that also sends a message. You can
it's
do
like a test.
something with that or not. It's choice. And
Yep.
you can say, but I like it. Fuck it. Let's release that shit. Or you'll
Yep.
be like, okay, apparently nobody likes it.
It's
Might
like a
be a
test
shitty
pool.
track. And
Yep.
yeah, yeah, that's
It's
how
I
we use
think
it too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think as an artist, you need to make that choice consciously, and then if the result that is like losing followers, then so be it. And I think that's something you need to be very aware about, mature about.
Yeah.
But that's like you make a choice and there's consequence, and yeah, I think that's something you have to really learn in life. But as an artist, yeah, the you don't you have to be yeah,
Let's
aware.
um, let's go on to the next question from Suksh, actually the same one from the live chat. This one's from the Discord. Just wondering how you would describe yourself. More of an extrovert or an introvert? As an outsider, the industry seems filled with extrovert artists.
Yeah,
I
it's
think you might
usually
be surprised how many artists are actually introverted.
yeah, definitely.
I
We
was
actually
thinking
talked
about
about it
this.
yesterday with Marlon.
I was thinking about this the other day. Like a lot of DJs that are really big seem like the big popular guys, and from the outside, they that's their whole image. And I know from people who I've met that they are usually very insecure, and normal and down to earth. But it's so funny that their image and the stuff that sells is like the popular dude or girl, and it's so funny that that's usually it's the opposite.
It's the underdog.
Yeah, well, the underdog or like the shy person, and what you see usually if someone has a lot of like confidence. For me, example, I'm not that much of a extrovert guy per se, but on the stage I can look that because I'm really comfortable there
Yeah.
behind my decks and with my music. But then if I I'm in a party and I have to talk to a girl, I'm a huge nerd, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no,
No,
but
but yeah,
basically, people who are into music and maybe especially producing music, we're all a bunch of big nerds and
Yeah.
not per se the rock stars. I mean, we weren't the athletes. That's why
yeah.
we
Me
make
neither.
music and or be busy with this
Yeah,
craft
but isn't
of
it then
ours.
funny that like, let's say John Summit looks like, oh, he's only partying, but that guy probably spent the last 10 years in the studio, and
Yeah,
it's
he also
funny
went
to
to the gym, I could tell you. He looks good.
and he went to the gym. But I mean, like, it's funny that the image that's cool is like the popular dude, while the people that are
Yeah, but
actually
it's also something like, okay, people take into account the artists themselves also. Well, I have to be an artist now and kind of put on a mask, which is
yeah
not so. You can exaggerate on some of the traits of your character.
yeah true
Don't take it too far. That will not uphold. But yeah, and it also gives a sense of like, I mean, people behind decks in front of a crowd, even if it's 200, 100, or 20,000, that does like reflect
Mm. You
like
feed on the energy some kind of
confidence.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
it looks
Like
cool.
for me as well. Like I was a pretty introverted guy, especially when I was younger. But I must say, because of the DJing, I became a lot more outrovert. As in, I became more
Extrovert.
comfortable with extroverts. Yeah, I became a lot more comfortable with showing myself and building self-confidence and stuff because of the
Showing
DJing.
yourself.
Yeah,
Gross.
like just being
Oh,
like
hey,
showing myself to the
do
outside
it.
world,
Show
posting
yourself,
content.
man.
There I am. Here I am,
Take off
world.
your pants.
Accept me as I am.
We do.
Question from him in the Discord for Jay and Ralph. It's more about your structures, as in on a typical full studio day, how many hours do you usually work in one go before taking a break? And how many of these sessions would fit into a day?
Yeah, 2
It
or
depends.
3, 4 hours.
In
It
one.
Yeah,
depends
no,
if
not
it's
so many. Because I start at 8:30, and then at lunch I come out, get some food, eat the lunch, and yeah, take my time. Then quarter to one, I go back
it
in the
depends.
studio.
For me, it depends if it's an actual do something day or list making day.
Yeah, for you it's different, yeah. First
Ralphie's
I
a,
Um,
start off making the list, then I'm
now
gonna
for
see
me,
if this list is good.
usually in the morning I decide if I'm gonna make music or not. And if I do, I usually just get into the studio and only stop to get a coffee or to pee or to eat,
mm,
because I just have to be like, yeah, just fully into it and just keep going. Because if I then get distracted, I can really lose the kind of the flow.
flow, yeah.
But there's
Yeah,
also
it's
days
true.
where I'm like, I'm gonna do administrative stuff or do my email or do like go through statements, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then I like, yeah, work like normal. I have a little break here and there more often than not. But when I make music, usually I really also get lost, and it's like, oh, I should eat, or
Yeah,
oh, it's
exactly.
already
Mm.
time to pick up the kids or something like that.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah.
kids are outside in the rain.
It's like,
Yeah.
where's daddy?
Shit, it's 10 p.m. and they're still waiting at daycare.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's a good way to describe it. As in sometimes you're just in that flow state and you want and you can keep on going. And I would definitely use that momentum if you're in the flow, because it's rare. It doesn't happen that often. And if you're not in that flow, you can have a structure and live the boring life as Ralph is doing. As in, just like 8:30 start, then you have lunch at 1 or 12. Have a coffee at 3. Like, just live a structured life. Basically,
It's
that's
almost
that's
3. I need
great.
my coffee, so can we just please hurry up?
Oh, it's
No, I'm
almost
just
3. Yeah,
kidding.
true. No, so that
I
hopefully
need
that
my
helps
coffee.
you
Yeah.
answer your question. Question for Ralph and Jay from Israel Carter. Do you think about times during the year when you want to release certain tracks? Do you strategically release tracks around certain tours and gigs, or you're doing, or just as soon as you can?
Yeah, you always try to see what you can do around certain tracks. Whenever we have a cool show coming up, yeah, we try to release that. I mean, let's say you play Tomorrowland, you can market it, your release with the gig you're playing that night, and also can pass that through to the Spotify plays. See if you can get in a playlist of Tomorrowland, and that can all help. Of course, it makes sense to do more summery tracks in the summer and the more dark tracks in winter. Um, we're planning on doing Samba de Janeiro, and then we need to look at Carnival, of course.
It's more like themed kind of songs, right? Like
Yeah,
Christmas
and
songs,
you
you
try
obviously.
to like, it's nice, and the people. I mean, you try to. You don't do a Christmas song in April.
No, exactly. But
That's for sure.
there are certain themes you kind of have to be aware of, but in general, you can kind of release whenever you want, right?
Yeah,
I
but yeah.
Throughout my career, I've always, first of all, made as much as I could. At this point, not, but before, and then I would have like a bunch of releases, and then you would kind of look at what would be smart to release now. And what I just know, the things where you were like, oh, that's such a good planning, that's the perfect timing, would usually be the tracks that didn't do very well, and then the tracks where like, oh, that's just a release date, random, out of nowhere, work really well. But that's in general with releases. I think you can plan only so much. But I think as a DJ, it's very important to plan around what other DJs hopefully are gonna play. So if like right now you're maybe already too late for Ultra in March for DJs to play out your track, you
You're
might
in
be too
time,
late.
but yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, but it's like it's getting
Yeah.
closer, and like people are planning more and more of their sets, especially these days with a lot of visuals and stuff and production coming in. So you want to be like somewhere around here and the next month of sending out your promos to DJs, and then a release. Yeah, I think like Joey, it doesn't matter per se, and you also have to get a bit lucky anyways with the planning and even with Christmas, you can decide to release in November a Christmas hit, and it still might not be picked up. It's yeah, you never really know, and that's also the magic
Yeah, true.
of music.
The
I
magic
quickly
and the
want,
frustration.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's always the balance. Yeah.
and I think for everybody goes. A lot of artists have this that the tracks where you really thought everybody has some of those tracks where you thought now this
This
is
is the
going to be a
hit.
big one. This is the perfect timing, and then it did nothing.
Yeah, it's always the
Wah,
ones
wah, wah,
you expect
wah.
least from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quickly want to go to one of the last questions. Oh, actually, the last question, and then we'll go to the giveaway from Jay. Question from Alex Larray in the Discord. By the way, we see a lot of the same names in the Discord to drop questions. So if you're listening and you've never left a question, feel free to do it. Yeah, you can leave it in the Discord. It's luckily like there's new names coming by every week, but feel free to drop them there. And we appreciate everyone sending in regularly. Thank you for that. So Alex Larray is a new one, actually. Hey guys, had a quick question. I'm 17 years old and I've got over 50k monthly listeners on Spotify. Decent job. I've got some deals from the major labels, but it's kind of weird that I see all of my favorite DJs releasing on the dance labels, like Stamped, Spinning, etc. So I feel like I'm not on the right path. So just wondering what you guys think.
A major label is the right path. We're trying to get there, man. You found a loophole.
Well, it's the right path. I wouldn't say. I know people who signed with majors and then nothing happened for the rest of their career.
It really depends on the context, as in where you want to go as an artist. I would say, as in Spinning and Stamped as well can offer a lot of value, but it really depends on where you want to go and what you expect from labels as well. Because major labels have a big international network that can be helpful. But yeah,
I would
look. Majors are the boss. But,
make a choice and don't look back. That's advice.
That's maybe the
just
best advice.
Go for it and learn.
Don't overthink it. Yeah, just give it a try. Don't.
Yeah, or give the other labels a chance. But either way, choose and don't look back.
Don't sign
you might make a mistake.
deals. Don't sign long-term deals. Just start like one track and see where this goes. Or maybe
that's not probably going to happen. But
3 tracks or something.
But look out for if they promise like big advances.
Yep.
Because you could also be stuck to it. I would not advise.
But a big advance is also cool because it's a lot of money and you can buy a Rolex.
Well, if you're gonna go for a big advance, at least use it to, let's say, sustain yourself, your family, or build a studio, whatever.
Invest in your business, in your music,
or buy Bitcoin,
or buy 2 Rolexes.
Hey.
No financial advice, by the way.
Or rent a studio and buy a Rolex.
Yeah. Okay, guys, it's time. The giveaway of Jay. Hey, that rhymes. The giveaway of Jay. Jay, tell us, what are you going to give away to everyone in the Discord who can apply onto this giveaway as well for the upcoming week?
My time.
The most valuable thing you've got on this
it's
planet.
Very valuable.
Very rare. You can't print it.
You're going to play at the party.
Well, I wish. I wish. Now, we're going to do a... let's say a mentor call or like a Zoom or whatever kind of platform call where I can give feedback to a track of yours and help you with any kind of advice. And it's set for half an hour, but I mean, I'm not that strict on the clock. I think it could be because I don't have a Rolex.
That's
why I need a Rolex. But yeah, that's the giveaway, and I hope it would be useful for you
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
win it.
So if
Hopefully, there are some of you out there who want to win it.
yeah, so if you want to get one-on-one time with Jay and go over a
I
track of
know I'm
yours
gonna compete.
and ask us some of your questions, make sure to go to the Discord if you're not a member of the Discord yet. There is a part in the Discord which is called giveaways, and you can simply click the button there to attend the giveaway. I at least want to see more than last time. Last time were 41 people entering the giveaway. Let's go for 50 this time. So it ends in 7 days. Next week we're gonna announce the winner in the podcast. So
Hey,
go.
if it's really good, I might your track. I might want to collab on it. So
Even that could happen.
I see. This is actually interesting. Yeah.
There's a business interest here. Yeah, exactly.
But
Cool.
He's a smart man.
I don't do collabs where I haven't worked on. So if it's too good already, I'm sorry. I will send you through to Ralph.
Yeah,
You should-
please. I mean, I have no shame. I'll jump on board anytime.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna close things off. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being in the live chat, everyone. It's been an explosive live chat, I noticed. So thanks for
Yeah,
that.
and also comment, share it.
42
with-
live watchers. 42.
Dude,
It's insane.
man, now I'm actually getting a little bit nervous. That's quite
Yeah.
a crowd.
Yeah. So
Put
that's
your
been going
hands
on.
up. Oh, that's what I'm used to doing. for
Wrong
the crowd.
crowd.
Wrong crowd. Wrong room.
Although maybe they are now sitting like this.
Yay!
1, 2,
Wearing the
3.
wristbands. Yep.
Man.
Make sure to follow us on the platforms that you all know. Watch our videos, listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Music. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends, your neighbor, your mom, anyone who thinks this might be fun to listen to.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And
If you have a pet, you know what you should do?
share it with
And now
your
it's
pet.
cold. No. It's cold, and then give the pet like this. They sometimes I see
Jacket.
those dogs with this blanket around, you
Dog
know.
jacket.
Then you can do this fine printing like Joey has on his plop cup with artist coaching
Yeah.
on that, and then people will talk to you like, "Oh wow, what a nice
Oh, what's
blanket
that?"
on your cute dog." Then talk about artist coaching. Make them watch or listen to this. Make them comment. Make them make the blanket, and you know the drill.
This is the marketing magic.
Marketing genius.
That's
right
how it
here.
works, man.
And
We
it's
are back.
free, guys. This advice is free.
This is free. We are back
Oh,
next
actually,
week.
what I wanted to say this
Yeah.
episode's now at the end, but it's actually important. I hope that it comes across to everybody here that we actually don't have the real answers to all the questions.
exactly.
It's just our insights, which are not per se valid for everybody. But because I saw some questions coming in and answered, but we don't have the wisdom. That should be really clear by now.
Yeah.
True.
But we do have some experience, and we're glad to share it, and hopefully that helps you.
Good point.
I
That's
couldn't have
wise,
said it better.
man. I'm
Good
saying
point,
it myself because you guys don't do it. Yeah.
And by the
Hey,
way,
box for
just a
me.
little hint. If you are still listening right now, you are the only one who actually heard about the giveaway. So you might have an advantage there because that we've intendedly put it on by the end of the podcast so that only real fans actually got a chance. So
OnlyFans.
Exactly.
There we are. There, full circle. Well, I'm
full
off
circle.
now.
Yeah, we're going. Guys, have a great day. See you all
Bye.
next
Bye.
week.